Hi everyone, Michelle McClellan here, founder, resume strategist, and career coach from Pop on Paper. So today I want to share with you a few tips on what you can consider excluding from your resume that offer no value, no competitive advantage, may actually eliminate you from the competition. So we'll start with number 1, photograph. So I see a lot of resumes coming in with professional photos, and they're beautifully designed and laid out, and they look great. But I want to speak about this from a very HR perspective. So in Canada, we have a list of human rights that are protected, and this varies from province to province. So you can always access a government website just to check those out. So employers are not legally allowed to make a hiring decision based on your human rights. They cannot discriminate against your human rights. So a photograph reveals some of that information. So I will list some human rights that I know at the top of my head, and I'm located in Alberta, so it might vary in a different province. But we've got age, sex, gender, family status, marital status, place of origin, nationality, ancestry, mental or physical disability. I know I'm missing a few. However, a photograph is going to reveal your gender for sure, probably your race. We can't pinpoint your age, but we can definitely classify you in an age range, and maybe even your religion. So that's something to think about, especially when there are firms out there that have very strict recruitment policies where candidates have to be eliminated from the competition because they are revealing discriminatory information. Now, I understand that, in different cultures, or different countries, that it's actually required or it's totally normal to include your photo in your resume or your CV. But in Canada, we kind of have to adapt to, what the rules are here. So if you want to be safe rather than sorry, I would just suggest putting your professional photograph on your LinkedIn profile. And if an employer wants to establish more of a human connection, then they'll just head right over. So feel free to put your LinkedIn URL on your contact information to invite them. Next, links to your social media profile pages. So I'm not talking about your direct URLs placed in your contact information, but the phone number and the email address in your contact information might actually be directly linked to your Facebook or your Instagram, maybe your Twitter. So if you go on your Facebook search icon and you type in your phone number or your email address, your profile might directly just pop up. So even if you have an alias name, the employer will know that it's your profile. So if you want to make yourself extremely private and you don't want anyone to be able to find you, I would remove your phone number or change your email address in your accounts so that you're completely unsearchable. Next, hobbies and interests section. So I think it's awesome that applicants have, interests outside of work, but I don't think that the resume is the place or the time to state that. So, with preliminary screening, recruiters are sorting through like hundreds of resumes, just trying to figure out, okay, which ones are qualified for the job and which ones aren't. So for a recruiter to open a resume and have to swim around information that really isn't relevant or it really isn't going to help them make a decision, let's just declutter the resume and make it easier for the recruiter to spot, what exactly it is that you offer that's going to fill the needs of the vacancy. So my suggestion is remove it and then put it in your LinkedIn profile. Another section I want to talk about is volunteer experience. So if you have an extensive work history and education, I would just suggest removing volunteer unless it's really like directly linked to your job or your field. But if you're like an engineer and you volunteer at the local pet shelter, like that's not going to really help you. That's not going to make an impact on your resume. So if you want to add that into your LinkedIn, why not, right? I mean, if an employer wants to dig in a little deeper and get to know you better, they'll just check out your LinkedIn profile. Other than that, you should really stick to the relevance of the experience and the requirements of the job that you're applying for. Somebody who doesn't have a whole lot of work experience, maybe they just graduated, maybe they've only had a couple jobs in their life, I would say, include that volunteer section. So it just shows that you're proactive, you're putting yourself out there, you're trying to do work, you're doing a good deed, and you're not getting anything in return for it as well, right? So that's something to consider, and I think that will help declutter your resume and really regain focus on, what's important, what's going to offer value. And then lastly, this one line that I see a lot, and that is references available upon request. So I would just say scratch that line. Who needs it, right? It's a line that's not actually stating an achievement or a skill or a requirement. It's just a line. And we all know by now that if you're not willing and ready to present professional references, you're not going to get hired for the job anyways. So one way to declutter. So that's it, guys. These are my tips for what you can consider excluding from your resume to make it more impactful. So if you haven't already, please subscribe below. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to comment below or send me a direct message. And if you have any requests for tips and you just want to see, my perspective on something career related, please just let me know. I'm really excited to get to know you guys. And share this video if you think that anyone will benefit. And stick around and stay tuned for more career related videos to come. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.